And there we go. I've even put the volume up as well so you can hear me. How the hell are you? Thank you so much for joining me. I'm Dean the Vaping Biker. And I've got some hot chocolate in my mouth. Now then. Welcome to another Monday Night Live. We've got young Mr. Richard V1ck joining us in a little while, which is going to be very, very cool. So we'll have a little chat with him. But as always, we're going to start this one off as we always do. So the first 10 minutes are going to be just saying hello to people in chat. So if you're in chat, then let me know where you're from and who's watching. And I will say hello, as many as I certainly can do anyway. And then if you're watching this on replay or you're catching up with this one after the event, just skip forward 10 minutes and that'll save you getting horribly, horribly bored. So let's get stuck into this one, shall we? Let me just remove one of these windows. I don't need that one. We're going to take that one out of there. Boof. And right, let's get stuck into this one then, ladies and gentlemen. So Eddie Summerford is in from Eastbourne. Lovely to see you, Eddie. Thank you very much. Viv is in. Nice to see Viv in the house. Thank you very much. First 4%er I've seen so far. James Whiting, watcher from Reading. This Monday Night Live thing over the top of my head is starting to do my tits in. I think I might just take that off for the moment. Anyway. What else have we got going on in here? We've got Legion Vapes in the house. We've got Jezza Gates. Hello from the Isle of Wight. Blow a fat cloud, says Matthew Cullen. All righty then. Sean Toop, evening. How you doing? Nice to see you. How's it coming from the middle of the Pacific Ocean? Maui. Wowie, says Jerry. We've got Matthew Cullen, actually is in Ireland. Vaping V1ck is in chat as well. That's nice. The chat just zipped past me a little bit then. What else have we got? Paul Bradley, good evening to you as well. Gino is in from the Philippines. Gino Alfaro, I think that's how you say your name. Charles Seal, greetings Dean from Tyus, Georgia, USA. I'm going to go with that one. Alistair Robinson. Hello, Dean from Northern Ireland. Don McCullough. Hi there. Don from Canada. Hello, Don. How you doing, buddy? We've got Sick Boy in here somewhere as well, apparently. Nice to see you, Sick Boy. Dominic, we've got the patrons. We've got the patrons in. What else have we got going on in here? Hey, evening, Costa del Ayrshire, says Dominic Pelosi. Hello, Dominic. How you doing? Legasus is in from Croatia. Andy Fairchild is in sunny Spain. Very nice. Lucky old you. Hey mate, hope all is well from Kent, says Reese Pinder. Thank you very much. Not bad. Ticking over. Jim Old. No, not even gonna, Jim. Not even going to try that, whatever that was, not doing it. Diddy Wright, hey, getting on, old booty. From Cromer, that's how they speak in my neck of the woods. How you doing, buddy? James McDonough is in London. JFM Development is in here. Thank you very much for joining us there. Raymond Denishen, this should be Tuesday morning live. Well, you see, no. Dave Vape, Tunbridge Wells. Dave Vape is in Tunbridge Wells. Lovely old job. Hi, Dean and Richard, says Paul Burford. Kisme is now from Bavaria is in. Lovely old job. Thank you very much. Nice to see you. Got to stop saying lovely old job. That's the second or third time already. Mikhail is in from Sweden. Viv is obviously in from Coventry and enjoying the Templar. Spango. Good evening from York. Good evening to you as well. What else we got going on in here? Good evening, Dean. Greetings from Munich, says Philippe. Matt is in. Mr. Emery, nice to see you. Thank you very much indeed. What else we got going on in here? Oh, my chat's just gone a little bit sharpish. So I'm going to have to just kind of guess. If I've missed you, I'm sorry, but my chat just went wobbly. Laszlo, greetings from Budapest, Hungary. Mick Blizzard is in from near the NEC. Second Vape Limited is in the house. Scott Miller from Littlehampton. Alexander from Florida. Johan, good evening to you as well. The 4% thing, Viv, is my viewers for the channel have generally been 4% females. So if you're part of the 4% club, it's a very special club to be in. Although it's an old school, it might over the last couple of months have moved up a little bit. be from the 4%. It might be nearly a 5%, but you've got 4% OGs, which are the original ladies of Vaping Biker wonderfulness. That sounded better in my head. All church is in. Sean Toop is in from not so sunny Somerset. Good evening, Dean, and greetings from Dunstable, says Jimmy Jeffs. Hello to you. What else have we got? Oh, is Stan in? Hopefully Stan's in as well. Lovely to see you, Stan. Hope the beer festival went well for you. Hello, mate, from Stoke-on-Trent, says Joseph Finnegan. Sick Boy is over in Pennsylvania. Ruben, hello, Mr. Biker from USA. Have the day off so I can finally catch you live. Happy Columbus Day, everyone. Well, happy Columbus Day to you as well. I don't know what that is, but have a good one, whatever it is. Can you shout out my wife, Samantha from Kent? Yes, Reese. And big shout out to Samantha in Kent. Thank you very much for joining us. What else have we got going on in here? We've got John Maritato. Hello to you. Kevin K. Aloha. Mr. Mahoney. I should know how to say that, but from Ireland. Hello, how you doing? What else have we got going on in here? We've got Josh Yaddo from New York. Hello. On Orlando, Florida. Fast Eddie. Hello, Fast Eddies. How you doing? Nathan Sydenham, evening Dean. I love the port and starboard lighting. Thank you very much. Thought I'd change up a little bit tonight. You know, it's going to upset. I did just have, like, it was red at the bottom, red on one, and then green on the other. And then I just thought that was going to upset my OCD way too much. So I've just gone crazy colours, and jobs are good. Now then. Dominic Pelosi, going to a wedding down your neck at the weekend. Lovely old job. See, said it again. Why is that suddenly a thing? What else have we got? Pete Cars, Vaping Bike, are your lights meant to be port and starboard? It's right for you, wrong for us. No, that's an absolute mistake, I must admit. But if it makes anybody feel a little bit better, because, you know, I'm a caring kind of person, what I'll do is I'll do that. There we go. Is that better? Is that going to help anyone? Mason Towns, hello. Berlin, currently sitting in the Marriott Hotel on holiday. Fantastic. How's it going? Not bad at all. What else we got? Good evening, everybody out there. Hello, Vaping Biker and Richard. Have a freaking large greetings from Austria. Lovely. Nearly said it. Alex is in from Florida. What else have we got going on in here? Samuel, holy crap. I've actually managed to catch it live. Good evening. Welcome in, Samuel. What was that laugh? Welcome in. Hi from Dalkeith in Scotland, says Daniel Thornton. Hi from Steve and Helen in Rugby. One of my favourite couples, Steve. Hello, and Helen. Learn something new every day. London is only 5 hours ahead of East Coast. Well, there you go, JFM. There you go. What else have we got going on in here? Hi, Dean from sunny Bristol. Who was that? Who was that before my chat went a little bit wobbly? I don't know who that was, but someone was from Bristol and then my chat went done. So I don't know who that was, but hello. Anyway, I think we're pretty much getting to that point. Tom is from the Netherlands, so hello. Lois is in. Lois is an old school 4%er. We've got Cuz Steve. Steve, did you get the package today, my friend? Cuz Steve, for those of you that don't know, is owner of Hart Leathercraft, H-A-R-T Leathercraft, and I've once again not got anything going on here, but he's doing a little project for me that we've discussed, and I'll tell you a little bit about that a little bit later. But go and check him out on Facebook. His work is spectacular. He's done an amazing leather case, all sort of carved with a clock and things and stuff. If you go and check out Hart Leathercraft on Facebook, it's really good. But he's done a couple of things for me in the past, and it's spectacular. So go and check him out. What else have we got going on in I think we've probably done about the 10 minutes. Mr. Mufu to you, is in Nebraska. DNNS84 is in the Netherlands as well. Oh, Snaggletooth is in from Sheringham. Lead Pipe, hello to you. Right, that is the first 10 minutes, so I'm very sorry if I've missed you out. I do occasionally get a little message from someone saying, why'd you miss me out? Well, sorry, but sometimes you'll sort of try and scroll in like the Google chat, and then it'll go and it'll just go like a monster, and I don't get to catch everybody. I haven't got Mr. Todd in chat as wielding the ban hammer for anyone that misbehaves this evening. So I've got the Google chat up rather than my normal proper funky chat, which I'll do later. You don't care. Anyway, let's get moving on, shall we? So this evening's special guest, ladies and gentlemen, and co-host is going to be, drum roll please, the wonderful Richard Vick. Whoop. Hello, Ricardo.
Hello.
How you doing, fella? You all right?
Yeah, very good, very good. How's everyone in chat? Chat's going mad.
Yeah, it is going a little bit crazy. Now then, we've got
some great names in there, though.
Hey?
Some great names in your chat.
Oh, there is. And everyone's so polite. They're lovely. They're a lovely group.
Oh, Cuz got his parcel.
Oh, excellent. Good. Well done for noticing that one. And I'll talk to people about that in a little while. But I figured, well, we'll have you on right at the start. I think last week I said that we were only going to be doing like an hour, and it ended up going later, but having you come on a wee bit earlier makes a little bit more sense, and it's a little bit more conversational, I think, so the people in chat can get involved and stuff as well. But Todd is coming home from Paris. He was at a Vape Expo in Paris, for anyone that doesn't know, so he was out being Vape famous over there. So yeah, bless his cotton socks. Mr. Richard is doing a superstar job, standing in and being a megastar with his new coloured studio. Look at that.
Yeah, I've improved my live look.
Absolutely.
Especially for this. I could do my Mark Todd impression.
If you've got one, you must do it.
But probably not. I couldn't keep it up all night. He always looks up like this at the end, so he goes, "Hey guys, Todd here." Hey guys.
Love it.
But beyond that, I couldn't keep it up all night. But yeah, so, he's French, and he's been all French for the week. Absolutely,
lucky bugger, and he's going off to Vegas, I think, as well soon as well. So he's enough to make us both very, very jealous.
What did you make of the Vape Expo's format of having 2 B2B days and 1 public day?
I think it kind of makes sense from a business point of view, possibly. I don't really know. But, I mean, when you have... It looked, from Todd's live streams, it looked as though... there were a lot of people around the Modders Gallery stuff, obviously. But I don't know if it got sort of rammed on the public days. I didn't really pay attention to that. So I guess it depends on how many people you're expecting. Like Vapor Expo in the UK, if you only had 1 day for that, I think that would be an absolute bloody nightmare. Because what do they get, like 20,000 visitors over the weekend? And if you had 20 grand all in 1 day, that would be just a fucking nightmare.
Yeah, I haven't seen any footage from the actual Saturday, but yeah, that must be... I get it, though. I get it from a business perspective, because you can open 1 account with a fellow distro or whatever and do way more than you can by just selling stuff on the day. But yeah, strange one. It wouldn't work with Expo. It'd be crazy.
Oh god, yeah, no, absolutely. I'd like it if they actually added an extra day to Expo, but I dare say that the exhibitors probably wouldn't be into that one at all. But no. Anyway, tell us how you've been. Tell us how what's going on with your week. And then what we'll do, I think we'll do a little bit kind of, you've got something new, I've got something new, you've got something new, I've got something. Should we do that?
All right, cool. Yeah, week's been good. Plodding on, trying to keep up with my 3 videos a week schedule.
Show off.
4's an amazing week. 3's the norm. But I've still got the day job and all that. So do what I can.
Yep.
But it's going good. Got a couple of nice bits to review this week, which is good. It's always a mixed bag, isn't it? One day it's a sub tank, the next day it's something better.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, of course, of course. Oh, actually, sorry to interject. I've got to say this while I remember it, because I'm going to be a bloody nightmare otherwise. Apparently, YouTube, this channel now has YouTube memberships, sponsorships, membership. I've turned it on apparently, and I've made a couple of emojis. And there's one for members, but I don't really know how it works. But it's there. If anyone can see it and wants to support the channel, they can. The membership thing is there if you don't want to do the Patreon thing. So, yeah, I think it's like $5 or $4.99 or something like that. But there we go. That's there. Had to put it out there because there might be a button down there that you're not used to seeing. Right. Good.
Right.
Hey?
Good.
Exactly.
My microphone's too loud, apparently, so I'm trying to adjust that.
What's up?
Apparently my microphone's too loud.
Oh, I can turn you down. I can turn you down here.
Oh, fantastic.
I have the technology. Boof. I've done it.
Fantastic.
I think I should have done it. But, yeah, you'll have to let us know in chat if I've turned him down too far now. But, I'm going to be a little bit rude, and I'm going to, kind of rebuild at the same time, I think, if these coils aren't too fucked. But let me pop the camera on you, Mr. Richard, and you can tell us what you've got. Give us something cool that you've got in.
Okay, this is pretty interesting. This is in our sort of spectrum right now. I've got this Surge Squonker, which I have already reviewed. I guess that's already old news. It's a bit like a pulsar-like.
Oh, that's the one that caused all that drama, is it?
Yeah, I get it. It's very similar. It's not super original. I totally get that. But on top of that, I have the new Vapefly RDA. This is the Pixie RDA.
Okay.
Tiny little squonky single coil banger from them.
Right.
It's very easy inside. It's just got you've just got your 2 posts, 1 coil going on in there.
Yeah.
Its little trick is that it has quite a lot of airflow adjustment options. So it's kind of like in line with like the D Pro and.
I was going to say, it does look very sort of D Pro Mini-like, doesn't it?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. It's got that D Pro vibe, but it's got a lot more air adjustment. So it also has, as well as the 1-hole, it has the 3-hole options as well. So it's got 1-hole option there. You can spin that around. It's got 3-hole options, and it also has an insert, so you can change it from 3 holes to cycloptic.
Oh.
And you can, it's like a rubber bung. The Salix from Eden Mods kind of did a similar thing with theirs, didn't they? They had cassettes, I think they called theirs.
Yeah, there's a posh one as well that Mr. Todd, like from Greece, a horribly expensive posh one that does the cassette thing as well, isn't there?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's right. So this has got a load of airflow options and very D-Pro-esque, so I think it might be quite popular in that respect. Not bad.
Excellent. And is a review for that coming soon?
Yeah, this week. I'm hoping to do that one this week. I need to play with the other airflow, see if that does anything. And inside I've got a new juice as well. Don't know if you can see that. It might be all whited out, but it's Nata, the people that do the custard tart, the Portuguese custard tart. It's their new one, Frambosia.
I got a what's the name? One of them things you call an email. There we go, to say that I've got some of that coming on the way, which confused me.
Oh, awesome!
But yeah, is it nice? Yeah,
it's good. It is good. It's Nata just with a spin of raspberry, basically.
Okay.
And it totally works. I think.
Now, is it one of these sort of super subtle flavours that I'm just not going to get in the slightest?
No, the raspberry really comes through.
Excellent.
You've got your custard tart and then your raspberry, and it's like almost 50-50.
Oh.
It's not just like a little subtle dash.
Oh.
And they're also doing these in Nick Salt as well.
Right. Now, that's something that we can have a little chat about later on, because I've got something to show people today, which has got the first Nick Salt that I'm aware of that I've had, and I am hugely interested to hear what people's thoughts are when it comes to Nixon. So we'll come to that. In fact, what we'll do is I'll talk about that right now. Have you told us what you wanted to tell us about that little RDA?
Yes. Yeah. Pretty
How
much.
much is it? Is it a cheapy one or is it expensive?
Yeah, really cheap. Vapefly. So 20, 25.
Okay. Excellent. So I've got, and this is something that I have spoken to you about it. But it's basically something from Jack Vapor. Now, Jack Vapor, that camera's not working. Why is that camera not working? Oh, you tossbag. Hang you on a second. Camera error. Oh, you arse biscuit. So yes, it's from Jack Vapor, and you reviewed the Vim, didn't you?
Yes.
The original Vim. And this is the mini version of that. So there we go. Boof. No, don't know how long it's going to go for, but we'll see. Now I know you can't see this until you see the YouTube stream, but this is the Vim, and this is a tiny little pod system, which is from those people in Jack Vapor, and they're up in Scotland. And essentially, this is a kind of a very lightweight plastic. I thought that it might have even been 3D printed when I first saw it, but no, I'm pretty sure it's like a molded plastic case. But it's tiny. It's absolutely tiny. If I pop this next to an 18650 battery, you can see that you could have expected an 18650 would just about fit in there. But it's a dinky little device, and this is kind of their sort of push for something for Stoptober. Now, I believe this is only about 25 quid thereabouts for a kit, I think. And essentially, you press that down, and that is your pod. So it is a pod system, although not like the sort of pod systems we're used to seeing. You've got a little kind of shelf going on here and here, and that kind of locks under the shelf that you've got there and there, which makes sure that it doesn't kind of come out and do things that it shouldn't do. It's a little bit of a bugger to twist around if you've got greasy hands, but there we go. But once you're in there, you've got these little grip situations going on here, which kind of face forward. Now, once that's in there, you've got 5 clicks on. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. That's turned off. And that's turned on again. So you've got a little green button to show that it's working. But that's it. I mean, it's a dinky little thing. And when it comes to the flavours, they come in these little sort of pod systems here. So you have these little pods raring to go. These are not refillable. You can't refill them. You can't rebuild them. None of that business. This is just something to get people going. And the interesting thing, I mean, I think it looks nice. Like I say, it's tiny. It's a tiny little device. You can hide it in your hand super easily. But let me just change the camera up for a second. When you get a device like this, would you expect it to have a draw like a cigarette? In as much as the drip tip is kind of the width of a cigarette, you know. So if you're going to have a starter device, would you expect that draw to be like a cigarette?
That's a tough one, isn't it? Because all these pod systems that are coming out, they're kind of loosey mouthed along, aren't they?
Yeah. And this one is as well. I mean, it's an all plastic tank, so it doesn't sound expensive. Let me just have a vape here. I can lung hit this. It can get a little bit gurgly, but also the two flavors that I've got, strawberry chew and blackcurrant squash, are super subtle. Now, I know I need juice to kick me in the face, but these are salt nicks, but they're super subtle flavours. So I don't know. It's been a long time since I've had a high nick kind of high. These are also 70 PG juice. Do you remember those days? 70 PG juice. And I'll show people on the camera.
Do they have a range of different resistances available?
Well, that's something I've got to check. I only got this in the other day. But 70 PG, 30 VG. These are 2 mil pods, and this is 18 milligram. Now, I believe these only come in these 18 milligram jobbies. I think. I'm not sure. I need to check. But that's a lot of PG. That's a lot of nicotine, and I don't really taste the flavour as much as I'd like to.
No. A lot of these, definitely in America, they seem to be of the opinion that a lot of these are just nicotine delivery devices, you know?
Yeah.
And flavour's the least of their concerns. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a really tough one. It's a really tough one. It does, for that high PG, that high nic, it seems a little airy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it is a little bit. I mean, that's me mouth to lunging it. So you can mouth to lung it, but it's a loose mouth to lung. I would have preferred this to have been somewhat tighter, to be very sort of cigarette-like, you know?
Yeah.
However, having said that, I'll be interested to know what people in the chat think as well, because with something like this, if this is 25 quid for a kit, and it's small and it's light and it's just super easy pods that you can just flick in and out, do you think there's a strong chance? Would you recommend this to somebody that is trying to give up smoking? That's the question that I want to pose out to chat. And for anybody watching on replay, make sure you leave a comment down below and let us know whether you think that this is something that you would suggest to a smoker.
It's nice to see a British pod, though.
Do what?
It's nice to see a British pod.
Yes, absolutely. And it is, I mean, the regular sized Vim is bigger than this one, I think.
Yeah, it's quite a bit bigger.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting little device. And yeah, you're right. It's nice to see a kind of a UK designed pod system, but it is quite loose. I would love to try this with a sort of more of a 50-50 blend, and then maybe, I don't know, 8 milligrams, something like that. I think that would be super interesting to find out if it's kind of help with that flavour. But I know that you occasionally will go for your higher nic when you're doing some mouth to lung situation stuff, won't you?
Yes, but mostly freebase. I've got to admit, I've not really got on board the nic thing. Yeah. I don't fully understand it either. Like, my basic understanding is that 18 mg of nic salt is the same as 18 of freebase.
Yeah.
But but it's got a lot less throat hit.
Yeah.
And that's the key advantage. But everything else really is all sort of myth surrounding it. So if you have enough drags on 18 freebase and 18 nic salt, then you'll actually get the same amount of nicotine and it will feel the same.
Yeah.
The nic one might just get into your body a bit quicker. You might feel a bit sick a bit quicker, but really it's the same. I think there's this myth that nic salts are more effective.
Yeah.
I don't know. The most effective thing is that you can lung it and not get big throat hit, but still get quite a lot of nic. So you only need a couple of drags.
Yes.
And you're away.
Yeah. I mean, I never go high nic. Whenever I get shouted at a lot by people in comments, whenever I do a mouth to lung device and I still put 3 milligram 70 VG liquid in something, people get ever so angry with me. But it's how I like to vape. And when it comes to getting that nicotine, you have less than when you're doing a big old lung hit. But I just vape more anyway. So it kind of, it follows through. I mean, I think this is an interesting little system, and I am gonna try it some more, but it's just weird for me to do 18 milligram. I've got a little bit of a sweat happen just from having that little puff on it.
So it's a true pod. You can't refill it.
Nope.
It runs out, you throw it away.
Yep. Absolutely. So it's an interesting thing. I noticed that somebody asked in chat how much the pods are, but because I'm casting, I can't really slow the computer down even more by opening up Google to do a search on the Jack Vapor website. But if you go to the Jack Vapor website and choose Vim, you can see what the prices are on those. And
are they available now?
I think so. Yeah, because I think they were sort of pushing them through for the Stoptober October kind of thing. And I'm not in any way saying it's a bad device, by the way. I'm not saying that at all. It's just, for me personally, I would like it to have been a little bit tighter and with maybe a little bit more of an option when it came to your PG VG. Because also there's a lot of people that have got kind of an issue with PG. So, having something that would be a higher VG, you'd think would be a little bit smoother anyway, wouldn't you?
I wonder if they went with the higher PG when they found the flavour wasn't spectacular.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really taste. So I've got a strawberry one in here at the moment, and I can't really taste it. But that could be because I've just got shit taste buds. So
it's like you say, it's a really hard one for you to sort of certainly quickly form an opinion on, isn't it? Because it's just so different to how your style is.
Yeah. I mean, it's not necessarily the style of vaping that's different, but it's what's in it. I don't go that high PG, and I don't go for Nixols ever, and I don't go that high on nicotine. So that is hard, and that's why I wanted to get kind of your opinion when it comes to.
I tell you what would be a really slick move from Jack Vapor if they did this. Also release a refillable pod. So both options were available.
Yeah.
The pre-built, simple, fully as you would expect pod, but also a refillable pod.
Yeah.
I think that would be so cool. You'd still have to throw the pod away when the coil died.
Yeah.
But I think that would be really cool.
Absolutely. Graham is saying in chat, Vape Market will also take a replacement coil tank. Now, I'm going to disagree with you there. Graham, let me just go into the camera and I'll show you why. Because when you take this out, you don't have a 510. So you can...
Unless there's something in the box.
I don't think there is, but I will.
He might be thinking of the original thing.
Yes, and I think he is. But we've got these two pins down the bottom here, which make the contact with the underside of this tank here. So you've got the positive in the middle and then the negative on the outside. I will learn more about this one and use it some more anyway. But yeah, my first impressions on it, somewhat confused. But it's certainly not a bad piece of kit. But yeah, it would be nice. I'm just wondering if I've got that. Yes, I have got the box here.
The wait for it in chat is saying it's a tenner for 3 pods.
Oh, but there we go then. There we go.
But if it's a 2 mil pod
yeah.
and it's that cloudy, they're not going to last long.
No, I mean, but at 18 milligram, you're not going to be clouding your face off.
True.
So, I think whilst you can direct lung it, I don't think it's meant for that. I think it's meant for the mouth to lung in. And that 2 mil, I think, will probably last a little bit longer. But I mean, I don't know the cost with comparison to a lot of other pods. I don't know what the dual pods are, for instance.
I think £2.50
each.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got £7.50 versus a tenner.
Yeah.
But do they hold 2 mil?
Yes.
Do they?
The UK ones do. Yeah, the UK dual is 18 mg Nixol, and I think it's a tenner for 4, £2.50.
Oh right, okay.
But that's a very tight draw.
Well, I tried a dual ages ago, and I didn't think the tightest ones I had. Remember that Webcams did one? Was it a something or other? That was really good. That was super tight.
Was it Fix or something?
No, that was a different one, I think. It might have been. I think the Fix was a different one. But yeah, I think I've only ever had two that are kind of, super worthwhile,
What did you think of Jules' lawsuit?
When they're basically having to go at anyone that's got a similar one to them.
Yes, yeah.
I think it's a smart business move, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. And I think it's basically that anybody who has a pod system in a school or somewhere they shouldn't, they're automatically now saying, so-and-so's got a Juul. And that's going to damage Juul's reputation more than it is now. So I guess, from a standpoint of minimising the damage on their own company, I can understand why they've done it. It's a pain in the dick 'cause there's a lot that are out there, but I totally understand why that's happened.
I think they're being really clever at the moment because they're completely playing ball with the FDA, government demands and all that, and then slipping this in as well. So it's like, you know, we'll do what you want, but by the way, have a look at this.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's quite smart.
No, Right, let me know what else you've got then. Show us. Oh, you've gone full screen.
Okay.
Let's see something.
I should probably say I've got this. Have you seen this? The Bastion.
He dug that out of storage just for tonight.
No, that's on the daily. Mainly, I've got to say, one of the main things I love about it is the battery life.
Yeah.
Just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's so efficient. I don't know what they've done there, but very good. I've got this. This is also getting reviewed this week. The Voluna V2.
Excellent. I've still not built mine yet, so I'm happy for a full rundown from you. My
one major concern with it as a tank is the top fill. So it's I like that they've gone for it, but it's the sub-tank style top fill on an RTA, so it's that. The little push on and off. And I just worry that that's going to happen in your pocket.
Yes. Yeah, it looks like it could be quite... Oh, no, I was going to say it looks like it could be quite loose. Yeah, it does look quite loose. Yeah,
it is a bit. It is a tiny bit. I don't know. That's my one hang-up with it, but it's a big improvement on the V1.
Yeah.
The wicking channels are all much bigger and easier to use. It's a nice tank, actually. It's a nice tank. The other slight thing, spoiling my review now, but the other slight thing is it doesn't come with a bubble glass, which most RTAs in that genre do now.
Ah, no. Is that just because it's come to the UK?
No, because the straight glass is 3.2mm capacity.
Oh.
And it comes with another straight glass in the box. So 2 3.2mm capacity straight glasses. So one of those should have been a bubble, I think.
Oh.
That's what I would have done if I was them.
Yeah. You give us a toot on it so we can hear how loud it is.
Oh, okay. So I've got it half open.
Hey, it sounds fairly solid.
It's a nice swooshy feel, but it's not super quiet or anything.
Having that swooshiness is very, very important in my book.
Yeah, it's hard to describe on camera and stuff, but it feels really nice. There's a tiny bit of restriction in it as well, which is a good thing, I think.
Yeah. You
feel the restriction, not just like breathing through it. It's there's a nice feel to it underneath. It's a good, solid dual coil RTA.
Good. Right. Keep talking just for a second. I'm poking cotton. How much is it? Where can you buy it?
All the place I've seen it so far is on Asmodus's website. Is it asmodusdistribution.com or something like that? Okay. And it's with Asmodus, everything's tiny bit more expensive, isn't it?
Yes.
It's one tier up from budget. So I think it's about $35. It's really interesting because they've brought out 2 RTAs that are very similar at the exact same time. Because they also did the Dog RTA. I'm not a big fan of this. It's just quite a few things that weren't great with this.
Now, how did you get on with building it? Because when I built my Dog, I found the wicking channels to be more challenging. Because of the way they're set out, you want to make sure that it doesn't flood, but at the same time, it doesn't give you really enough space to put a decent amount of cotton where you want it to go. So you have to thin it out like a bastard.
Yeah, this seems to be the way they're going now. Like RTAs that are really cloudy but want really small amount of cotton. You also have to put a little bit of bend on it, don't you? There's kind of a little bend out of the coil and down into the... Again, you won't be able to see probably, but yeah, it comes out of the coil and down, slight bend into the juice well. Yeah, the whole thing just seemed a bit confused on the Dog. It's really strange that they brought 2 out at the same time. Yeah. But I much prefer the Voluna V2. I think the airflow's better. It's straight better. There's more airflow in the bottom of the Dog than there is in the actual intake. So when it's wide open, it just feels weird. It's really strange.
Yeah. Yeah. There are some strange other things, and the reason I'm surprised about that one in particular is because Alex Vapers MD is obviously he's put his name to that one.
Yes.
And so I'm surprised that because I think he's quite particular about when it comes to building and wicking and what have you. So that one kind of, I don't know whether that's his particular favourite style of doing it, but it was just a bit of a surprise coming that way round. I would have expected the Voluna to be more like something that he'd have come out with, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I'm not getting dry hits or anything, but it is a little bit fiddly to wick, and the airflow's just not quite what I'd expect. Like, so that's almost like especially from a reviewer, like you say, because that's like a key thing that reviewers have picked at for years.
Yeah.
When there's been a tiny air intake but huge airflow at the bottom, or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's something we've always picked on as reviewers, so you'd have thought that'd be one of the first things he looked at. But I must admit, I hadn't actually seen his presentation video, mainly because it's probably in Russian. But
absolutely.
But yeah. So yeah, I think is he from Belarus?
I think
I got corrected on my review. It's actually from Belarus, but I still think it would have been in Russian.
The internet corrects a reviewer. Never. I won't have it.
So yeah, of the two, I much prefer the Voluna.
Excellent.
There we go.
Excellent. Right. So something else that I've got then, I will go to the down below camera. And this is one of these puppies. Now, I don't know if you've had one of these, Richard. This is the V-sticking, what's it called? VK 530. Now, this is a crazy interesting mod to me. This is a ridiculously interesting mod because it's got a Yeehee board in there. And confused the fuck out of me. It's been ages since I used a Yeehee board. So when I unboxed it for my patrons, I could not work out how the damn thing worked at all. But let me pop some batteries in there quickly so you can see what it looks like. The screen is very, very nice. But this is essentially a G-Class. It's the same kind of size. It's the same kind of shape. It's got a round screen instead of a square screen. But essentially this is a G-Class, which was a really weird thing for me because when you've got a posh high-end mod like the G-Class, having something like this just seemed to be like a little bit of a sort of a strange idea, you know. It's got a little revometer that goes on. It's got a whole bunch of backgrounds and stuff. It's got all the normal controls you would expect with a Yeehee board. The only thing that I think that lets this down is every single one of them that they do. There's this one. There's a white one, which I've sent off to Steve, and I'll tell you about that in a second. And a camouflage one, and another one of these sort of cartoony looking affairs. And this feels weird. It's not rubber, but it's kind of almost like a soft kind of finish to it. This metal stuff here, and I think they did this on the G-Class as well, it's got this kind of speckled metal finish, which to me just sort of smacks of a sort of a cheap tin. However, it feels super comfy in the hand for thumb firing. You can get a fair size atomizer on the top there if you want to put something chunky on there. And you've got all the joys of a Yeehee board in there. And I think this is about 65 quid, something like that. So if you've got something like this, why would you go and spend 200 quid on a G-Class, you know? Now that brings me on to the next point. Like I said, this logo here is a big turn off for a bunch of people. All of this stuff going on the outside. So I've sent my other one of these off to Steve at Heart Leathercraft, and he is going to make just a nice plain kind of antiqued brown leather case for it. So basically when I do the review on this, what I can do is I can show it to you in a case, because I really believe that with something like this, as a beta mod, it could be absolutely spectacular if you didn't have to look at this kind of situation going on the outside of it. And I think it could be really, really lovely. But no, size-wise, it's like I say, it's pretty much the same as the G-Class. So I mean, that's a swizz little mod. So if you get a nice little case covering up the nastiness, I reckon you're on a winner there. Any thoughts on that one?
I suppose the ultimate question is how much.
Well, I think this is about 65 quid. I think I've seen it for on the internet.
So that's like half of a G-Class.
Less than half. It's like a
so
third.
that's a really nice option if you're a big Yeehee fan.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just seems that it's got a lot of options. I mean, Yeehee, I think now, I used to be a huge fan of Yeehees. Yeah, I was a massive Yeehee fanboy. And then they brought out a board that just confused me, and it just confused the fuck out of me, because I'm a simple man and I like simple things. And I think it was actually the G-Class. When I got that, the board just confused the arse off me.
Yeah, they did the joystick, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah.
And they brought in a whole new menu to go with the joystick, and they had a lot of trouble with it early firmware days as well.
Yeah.
Menus, it allowed you to do things even when you had it on lock, and
Absolutely.
yeah, it got really confusing really fast, didn't it?
Yeah, definitely. But if you like the form factor, though, this is definitely something that you can think about. And like I say, I mean, it's not a massive mod. It is 18650s, unfortunately, rather than 21700s. But you know, it's, I think, with a nice sleeve around it, which is why I'm getting Steve to make one. That he can produce custom sleeves for whatever you like. Then you see, so if you bought one of those for 60 quid and then paid for a custom sleeve to go over the top of it, it'll look classy as fuck. It can be a custom one off to you, and it'll still be cheaper than a G-Class. So I think that's a bit of a winner.
I think that's quite a good option, because there, like you say, there's some massive Yeehee fans.
Definitely.
Way more affordable, so it's catering to that market. I quite like it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's bad looking either, to be honest.
No, I mean, let's say it's apart from the kind of the shape of the button and the shape of the screen, it's incredibly similar to that G-Class, which is crazy. I did have one out on my desk, but it's not here now, so I can't show it to you comparing. But no, there you go. So back to you. What have you got in?
Okay. The other thing that this is going to be hopefully the third review of the week, or not necessarily in that order, but the third thing that's probably going on this week is Tony B's RTA, the stacked from, I believe you pronounce it Kiss, the case, K-A-E-S-S, is it? Oh,
I call it keys.
I know, but I remember asking back in the day, early doors, and they said you just pronounce it Kiss. But no one else seems to be doing that. So
didn't the Keys people have one of those, like a really awful pod system that looks great, but it just really badly performed? Was it those guys that did that?
They've had some shockers. They've had some absolute shockers. They've also had some real sort of marketing blunders as well.
Yeah.
Early doors, they tried to do some sort of YouTube reviewer competition thing.
Right.
Their favourite review of an item of theirs got a money tree reward and all this sort of thing. It's all the reviewers were like, you don't need to do that. Don't worry, don't do that, and all this. Yeah. And so they had a really rough start. I
know they were kind of one of the main companies that was spamming the inbox of just about every reviewer out there, trying to get people to work with them at one point in time, which seemed a bit odd.
Yeah,
but,
I did a like a pen style device of theirs, and they initially claimed that it was the first. It was almost like an ego spinner type size thing, and their original claim was it was the first mod like that to have automatic TC built in, right. And they had nickel coils for it and everything, and what it did is it automatically dropped from 3.5 volts to 2.5 volts after like 3 seconds. So it had nothing to do with temperature at all. It completely fooled me. I tried to test it because obviously no other tanks would fit on it properly, or there's no way of properly testing it. So just with a voltmeter, I was seeing this difference, and I was like, oh yeah, it seems to be doing something. But so they had a very rocky start, but hopefully this is a new chapter for them.
Yeah. So tell us all about that.
Collaborating with Tony on an RTA, nice big bubble glass on it, 5mm with the bubble glass, I believe. Goon tips, top fill, dual coil, very interesting deck. Impossible to show like this, but it's got two posts. It's got two big posts as the clamps, and it's got 4 springs, spring loading those clamps. So as you release the screws, it opens up and becomes almost like a velocity.
Okay.
But what that allows them to do is have a very narrow, very short deck, so there's loads of room for your coil in there. I must give them credit for, originally they started with Peak as that centerpiece, and they realised that's going to get too hot and going to cause problems, so they actually delayed the tank.
Oh. Have I
something more heat resistant.
Sorry, it seemed like you just held up a little bit there.
Oh, sorry. So they held it back and changed it from Peak to ceramic. So that was a really good move by them. I'm glad they did that. Okay,
and being you say that it's like a clamp system going on in there. Did you? I think you did.
Yes, yeah. It's like it's got 4 springs.
Yeah. And how is that when you're doing like your dual coils? I mean, I take it you've tried Claptons and flat or round wire and stuff in there. Does it make sure it captures everything nicely?
Well, with round wire, it's really not a tank designed for round wire, I don't think. This is a 50, 60, 70 odd watt tank, so I don't think it's perfect for round wire. You've got to crank quite hard on round wire. But with Claptons, it pinches them really nice.
Nice.
So quite an interesting deck. Basically works exactly like a Velocity. For as fancy as it looks, it's basically just a Velocity. But it does allow them a lot of space in there. And like I say, really impressed that they held it back when they realised the issue with using Peak.
Right, excellent. And give us a 2 on it so we can hear what it's like.
I haven't got any batteries in it. Hold on then. I've got this on the old Mustang. Do you remember these?
The what?
The Friday morning.
Cold bloody hell.
This is a Yeehee as well. This is the original SX350, which is one of their first boards to work with 1 or 2 batteries. So loads of modders jumped on it at the time.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So I've got to admit actually that this one is it's not quiet. It's got a little whistle to it.
It sounds open AF as well.
Oh yeah, this is half and it's still really airy. Right, here we go. 60 watts.
Gotcha. Mr. Green would love that with all that crackling going on.
Yeah. I haven't used it today, so bit juicy. But yeah, no, it's airy, it's cloudy, wicks well, very interesting deck. And I'm like I say, I'm really impressed that they held it back and didn't just rush it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, not bad at all.
Good, excellent. Right, my turn again, isn't it? I want to just talk about juice ever so quickly. Not a juice review. Don't worry about that one. But I went online and I was in a Patreon hangout the other night, and I went online and I said that I wanted some different flavoured juice because I've just been bored senseless of the juice that I've got, and it's just one of those things that I've got a lot of nice stuff, but I don't know about you, but when I kind of haven't got a juice that I'm really excited about, just vaping just seems to be a bit of a chore, especially when you're having to test things all the time,
It's so underrated as a thing, I think. All this talk of tanks and RDA, this mod does this RDA does this. If you can get the best setup in the world, you put some bang average juice in, you've got a bang average vape.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Absolutely.
And I'm with you. I had a bit of a lull. This Nata came at just the right time.
Yeah. So I went on to Chef's Flavours in the UK, and I ordered these 3 one-shot concentrates. So they're this one's a Twilight one. This one's called Twilight. Nothing to do with vampires. Mixed at 20%. You can see up there. And this is a very coconutty kind of vibe going on with this one, and it's very pleasant. And it's a sort of a sweet coconut, but I'm still letting that steep. I've made a 60 ml bottle of that one, But it's so clear. It's so clear. There's nothing to it, which is lovely. So I'm looking forward to getting stuck into this one once it's fully steeped out. This was a suggestion from Mr. David Mottram of Pilgrim Vapes Coils fame, and I've got to say, rather happy with that one. Then I've got this one, which I think was Matt Emery in chat. I think he suggested this one. This looks like it says like inflated to me, but it actually says pixelated. And Ghetto Gummy. This is a sort of a pineapple gummy bear situation going on, and it's bloody lovely. I made a 60mm of that as well, and I've kind of got through a fair whack of that already. Yeah, that's really good. Once again, I think this is it's another 20% mix jobby. And then finally, I've got this one from Shindo. Now, Shindo is a mixer over in America. Really bloody nice bloke, and a really good mixer. Now, I've had a few of his flavours in the past, but this one, because it's mint chip and cookies and cream, I loved the Daily Juice Suburban, which is a mint choc chip kind of thing. But this one is more cookies and cream. It's like an Oreo with a more subtle mint going on with this one. And it's actually really nice. And I think this one, actually, you mix this one at around about 8%, something like that. So it does say 8% there. So this one's more cost effective. And I think this was like £8 or just under £8 for 30mm. None of them were super expensive. But the saving that you make, and for how easy these are to throw together. I mean, to do a 60mm juice, all you're doing is putting a 10mm nick shot in there. You're putting 8% of that in there, and then you're just filling it up with your base mix, and boof, done. Job's a good one. And then you've got 60mm juice, super cheap. And like I say, I bought all of these three. I didn't get them free from chefs or anything like that, but I just wanted to let people know, because I do get asked about juice from time to time. People know I don't review it, but these three, I think, are they're all valid purchases. I think these are all rather bloody good. So
that's a tough flavour to nail, though. That Shindo one.
Yes, so much. But that's what I've got in the mech at the moment, in the new VCM Reborn. I think I showed this to people on the last week, but it's nice. And it's not quite as sweet as Suburban is. It's not quite. It's not far off, but it's not quite as sweet. So it's not quite as in your face with that mint. It's more of a subtle mint, but it's bloody lovely, and I'm really enjoying it. He's really knocked it out of the park with that one. He's made a good job.
That's cool. That is cool. That sounds really nice.
Absolutely. Right. Have you got anything else?
On juice, actually, if we're recommending juice, I've got to recommend this. This is a massive empty bottle. That's how much I like this. Casadega can only be one. This is a really lovely juice. It's cannoli, the American dessert, if anyone knows of that. Okay. But that's my absolute big recommendation. That's my number one juice. I'm just going through crazy amounts of that.
Excellent.
And the other one would be Strawberry Fields Eclipse. This is a new custardy one.
Yeah, and he does do a good custard.
Yeah, Simon, he does.
Yeah,
so yes, that's another one that I really like. That's a newish flavour as well.
Nice. While we're talking about custard, good segue there. We've got young Gizzard Stew in the chat with Spork Life going on. Now, he sent me through his custard recently, and I've put it in a safe place. And I had some, and then I think I took it out and about with me, and I thought, right, I'm going to keep topping up my squonker with that. I've come back home and I've put it somewhere, and I haven't found it again yet. But that is bloody lovely. Giz will be able to tell us in chat if you can get it in the UK. I'm sure you'll be able to get it in the States, but I don't know where from. But that's a really nice custard as well. It's unusual for and I don't mean to be offensive here to the American viewers, don't shout at me, but from a custard point of view, a good solid custard is less kind of plentiful, seemingly, from over in the States as it is over in the UK. We're kind of custard holics over here, and yeah. So there we go. It's very good. It's definitely worth checking out. So,
it's not in your camera bag then.
No, that was the first place I looked. But I've put it. See, I've also had kind of multiple studio tidies, and I can't really remember what I've done with it.
It's gone.
Yeah, and I just pressed the wrong button. There we go.
It's in the magic vaping carpet.
Right.
Do you have one of those hungry carpet?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got a deep shag rug under my chair as well, which just to make things awkward for me pushing things around. In the steeping drawer, it may well be Labworks. It may well be. So there we go. Now, one of the things that I want to have a brief chat about, because I've had the last couple of days working. Oh, hang on. Colette says, here we go. I can put a question up. Does the Shindo concentrate have a cooling effect to it? Not really. I don't think there's any menthol or coulardry sort of situation going on in there. It's just the minty flavour kind of is very subtle coming through. No, one of the things that I'm doing, I've spent a couple of days working on this, and I've got another couple of days with a little bit more planning and filming and editing and stuff. But it's a video about tanks, and more importantly about mesh, because I would like your opinion and the opinion of people in chat and in the comments if you're watching this on replay about mesh, because mesh used to be shit, and it was as a sort of a coil substitute. I hated it more than I hate many things in life. It made me want to damage myself greatly. I despised it with every inch of my being. And when someone said that they thought a mesh tank was good or a mesh RDA was good, it made me furious with uncontrollable anger. And some could say that's an exaggeration, but no, I think that's fair enough. But no, it was horrific. However, something happened recently. I got a Geek Vape tank in. This is wrecking my video, by the way. But I got a Geek Vape Alpha tank, and that made me go, ooh. And then I got another tank. Can't remember who this one's from. And this one was less good. And this one I then went, oh yeah, okay. This is the V-sticking mesh tank. And I went, oh right, yeah, okay. Ooh, I've got a mod here to talk about as well. But then I thought, do you know what? I'll give the Inakin Plex tank another blast again with the 2 coils, and I'm fucking loving it. I am absolutely loving it, because I've got to test stuff that isn't squonk related. I've got a Plex tank on top of here at the moment, which is all dry, and I think it's fucking great.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on these?
Yes, I agree. I was the exact same. The first generation of mesh sub-tanks were just garbage.
Yes.
Just garbage. And I think the turnaround happened. I mean, for me, the first one that I really liked the, they did a Falcon. Was it the Falcon? That was pretty good. And they did dual mesh. They did a dual mesh thing, so it had a bit more power to it.
Yes.
But then the Org Vape Skynet tank had a mesh in. And I think the turning point was they actually stopped doing mesh. It's not mesh as we used to know it. No,
it's that sort of honeycomby kind of weird
stuff.
Yeah,
they changed it to almost like a chain link fence type thing, isn't it? Like a tennis court fence.
And that means that they can use Canthal and then get higher resistance, so you're not having to put 1,000,000 watts through it and getting a 20-watt vape.
So I think we're still right. Mesh tank's crap. It's just this new mesh. We just need another name for it. So they changed to that. They changed to that shape for the coil, with much bigger gaps in it. It totally works now. Totally works. Some of these mesh sub-tanks are fantastic.
Yeah.
I like the Plex as well.
Yeah. The one thing, and I'm going to show people what I mean about this, the one thing about this Plex tank that does frustrate me somewhat is the filling system. And we've got this you swish that forward like so, like I've done there. And if you've got a 60mm kind of chubby gorilla, you can get that in there no problem at all, which is fine and dandy. But like with this one, if you've got a kind of this is a 120, I think, or 100mm, you can't get your nozzle in there always without it kind of pissing out. And I guess you could take the drip tip off and that would make it easier, but then You know, do we need, the question that I'm coming to for this is, do we need these top caps that slide and spin and, you know, like the Alpha tank from Geek Vape, it's a kind of a flicky thing. Do we need that sort of stuff in our lives?
I really like the ones that have come out recently that are just quarter turn.
Yeah.
So they're just normal top fill, but it's just 1/2 or quarter turn to get off.
Yeah.
That, for me, they're the best so far. The push thing is just destined to fail, isn't it? It's either going to push off in your pocket, or you can't get the tip of the bottle in, or yeah. Webcams do them where you have to lift the drip tip up.
Yeah.
Just like an extra child safety type thing, but I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I think they're a bit unnecessary. They're not perfect.
Absolutely, absolutely. But from a sub-tank situation, I've got this kind of probably about a third open, maybe just more of a third. And sound-wise, I don't know how that comes across on how the mic picked it up, but it's not that loud at all. And it's a very, very smooth draw, which is great. But, and I have got to caveat all of this by saying it's only the multiple coil versions that I like. The ones with a single big fuck-off coil in them, I stand by what I've always said, that they are worse than death and don't need to be a thing. Yeah,
I think that does tend to be true. The other thing that I still don't think is right, with the mesh sub-tanks, a lot of the marketing and stuff says more longevity. Mm-hmm. I haven't found that at all.
No, well, it's always going to be down to what juice you put in it, isn't it?
I think with a lot of absolutely. And with a lot of these things, it's still using cotton, and it's the cotton that goes a bit manky first anyway, because the coils are so beefy now.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, a 50, 60, 70 watt sub-tank, Canthal or mesh, they seem to last the same for me. I don't buy into that marketing.
No. I mean, and that's the other thing as well. While these are good products now, and they are very good, and I've really been enjoying that the Inikin thing. Although I have contacted Inikin to ask them if that material, I believe it's Canthal that I've got in there, but if it's sort of their own proprietary mix, maybe with a little bit more nickel, because I've got sort of a susceptibility to nickel, and I get a little bit from that one.
I think it is because that's their original Plex. I think the name originally was their Plexus thing, wasn't it? Yeah. And that's their very particular mesh. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
Absolutely. But no, otherwise it's a great tank. But is there any benefit from them over regular tanks? That would be the question that I think I'd throw out there.
Yeah. There's some of them, a couple of them have really great flavour and a really nice vape, but we were already at the point with sub-tanks where there was some cracking sub-tank, normal coil sub-tank vapes. So yeah, I don't know. I'm glad that they've caught up. I'm glad that the flavour has caught up on the mesh tanks.
Absolutely. And it's not, like you say, because it's not like the old mesh, it's not a thing that only works when it comes to fruity flavours. You know, you can put a custard in one of these Plex tanks and it works. Yeah. It works really well. So that's interesting.
There's the complete other end of the spectrum as well.
Yes, tell us all about that one. Tell us all about that.
The new heating plates. So this is the Joytech Ultex 80. This is a regulated tube mod. The tube mod's very solid, actually. No real complaints there. It's slightly gaudy, but very, very solid tube mod. But this comes with this tank. And if I take this off, I should be able to, for once, show you this. So this is the Cubis Max tank. And you take the base off, almost Inikin-esque, and then you pop this bottom bit off, which is a cotton-soaked pad.
Oh, wow.
And that is pressing up against this heating element.
That cotton-soaked pad looks like it's seen better days.
And it hasn't really had that much juice through it, but that's one of the things with this style, isn't it? Because this has been tried before in other ways, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
almost looks like a grill or something.
Yeah, is that like the that thing that Aspire did, where the air just kind of passes over the top of it, and they're expecting the air to kind of cool it down rather than going through it or past it?
Yes, yeah. The very last thing, the very bottom of the tank, is that cotton. So that's right at the bottom of the tank. There's no air going through there at all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They just don't seem, and I've got to say, and it's the same with this one. They just don't seem to work great. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I think there's people that are trying to innovate, for want of a better word, which is unnecessary, because there's things that are being tried which don't improve anything. They don't improve an experience, in my opinion. And innovation is only something if it's helpful. You know, I could put a bloody, I don't know, scarecrow on a Christmas cake and say it's a Christmas tree. But that doesn't innovate the Christmas tree business, does it? That's just me doing something different.
I think the trouble with these ideas is they're always a compromise. So we know as vapers that, especially if you think about an RDA, there's just nothing better than a coil just getting smashed with air. You know, whether that's straight up at the coil, straight from the side, that's just something about that's perfect. You're grabbing the vapor straight off the coils, you know, and that's definitely a thing. With these, you know, the air can't pass through the cotton, can't pass through the coil as such. You have to whip it off the top, and it's those sort of compromises that seem to ultimately just not work. And the other thing is that the heating plate. So you've got a big plate of heat, and it just don't. They're going to heat. It's going to heat from the inside out, and so the middle of the cotton pad is always going to take more strain than the.
And that's the bit that doesn't really get the airflow. Yeah.
So. Yeah. I mean, it's a. I don't know, and I don't want to discourage innovation, but I'm not sure if this style of heating element is ever going to work, to be honest.
No, I can't see it ever being a thing. Now then, one question I've got for you: did you get the Druga Foxy?
I did not.
Right.
I did not.
Okay, because this is something that you'll have to watch on the YouTube stream when I show the people, because I forgot about this one earlier on. Because this is something that's confused the piss out of me. This is that mod from the not the Druga people, Org Vape. This is that mod from Org Vape, which has got the clamp situation for the 510. Rather than just the normal screwing. Now, I will show people what I mean by that one. So, as far as the mod goes, it looks quite classy. It's a fingerprint magnet, as you can see. And we do have a little kind of screen situation going on in there. And you can take that out and adjust your wattage and all that sort of jazz, which is fine and dandy. But this one's party piece is you've got a fire button on this side, but on this side, you've got a little clamp system. Now, allegedly, if you were to press this, which is very, very tight, if you press that in, you should be able to then take your tank out. But as you can see, I'm pressed in fully right there, and that tank's going nowhere. So I still got to unscrew it, and then it springs out. Now, the way this little fucker works is, and if I zoom in really close, look at that, look. Don't get that on many live streams, I tell you. You can see that here and here we've got a couple of splits in the 510, and when I press that button, that opens up and allows the atomizer to go in there without resistance, or that's what one might think. That doesn't actually happen. You've also got quite a high 510, so you do have to press down the atomizer quite hard to make it work. Now then, what that means is if I press that fully, I can't, there's still a gap there. I'm trying to press the atomizer in and it won't go down. So I still have to screw that atomizer in, albeit not quite the same amount of threads. But I'm having to press super hard there and try and catch those threads, which is difficult to do. If I try it without pressing the little clampy thing, again, pressing down really hard, I can screw the atomizer on as per normal. But once again, if I press the... Oh, no, let's turn it off. Let's turn it off. So if I press the quick release, that's releasing fuck all. That's doing absolutely nothing. That's doing nothing at all. Can't get that bugger off. Someone just said tilt it. Doesn't make any difference. Mowgli Vapes makes fuck all difference. So however you do it, however you play around with it, that does not come off. Now, it could just be mine, and that's why I wondered whether you had one. and I'll have to ask Mr. T when he's back in the house. But it's for me, that product has not helped anyone. I cannot see any benefit to that design in the slightest, because it's not great for people that have got sort of issues with screwing things in, because it makes it harder because you've got to press and screw. So that doesn't help. The clampy thingamajig doesn't seem to work for me. So that just seems weird. And once again, from an innovation standpoint, what's it achieving? What's it helping? What's it doing?
So its only advantage is it gets the tank off quicker.
Kind of, yeah, but you still have to unscrew it. It's just rather than unscrewing it, having 4 turns, you'll do 2 turns. So.
I have actually seen one. I saw someone, I think an Instagram story, someone showing it, and it seemed to work for them without all that faffing.
Right.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, you need to ask some more people that have got it. But you're right, though. I'm not sure what advantage it's bringing.
Yeah. I mean, if it was something you just pressed in and the tank came out and went in super easily, barely an inconvenience, then it would be fine and dandy. But with my version of it, nah, doesn't help at all. Doesn't help in the slightest.
That's strange. Yeah, we'll have to find out who else has got it. But yeah.
There we go. We've got something interesting here. Doug said that Mr. T's was working fine when he showed it off. We've got Socrates saying, I think you got sent a boo-boo. There are others that have had the opposite problem of it being too loose. So, it could just be a weird thing. It could be there isn't a standard thing for it, or their QC isn't that clever. I don't know.
If it was fully functioning, what would it do? The tank would come on and off really easy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
It's
a bit gimmicky, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, being someone that has dodgy digits a lot of the time and can't squeeze things super hard with my right hand because of stupid thumb. Sometimes it means that I thought, this could be an interesting little thing, this could help people. And I mean, it's a nice looking little mod. It's like I say, it's a bloody fingerprint magnet, but it's a nice little mod. It's super heavy. It feels solid as you like. Dual 186.
I think you need to ask him for another one.
No, I don't get that much. But no, I mean, it looks nice. It feels nice in the hand, but it seems weird to me that you've got that kind of situation going on. But as people are saying, and Andy's saying in the chat, voltage drop. I don't think it's going to have that much of a voltage drop, because it's the issue is around the negative portion, around the threads, and I think that is going to be something that there'll be enough contact in there to not have any voltage drop. However, that'll be interesting to see if Daniel DJLSB, if he does a test for that one, so he can test and see if there's any droppage in there. But no, there we go. Again, innovation. Do we need it? Is it innovation if we don't need something?
I'm never in that much of a rush to get the tank off.
No, I've never gone,
unless it's auto firing.
It's like with this Alpha tank. I mean, this Alpha tank, I still maintain, has the stupidest drip tip known to man. But the press a button and it flips open the top cap. At no stage have I gone, I need to get my juice in there a nanosecond quicker. So I need this in my life. I need to flip it open at the press of a button. But no, there you go. What can you do? I need some more juice. By the way, I'm enjoying this Reborn VCM from Vapor's Cloud with the Reborn kit with the kind of old school dripper sitting on top of it. This is going a great guns for those people that wonder, and it looks awesome too. It looks awesome. The only annoying thing is that these guys sent me by accident. They sent me a second of the RDA, so it's super thin paint. But they caught that and they apologised profusely once they realised. But no, otherwise it's a cracking little mod. Clouds for days.
They do good stuff, don't they?
They do. I mean, Vapors Cloud were one of those companies that did. They were always doing some really. Was it they did the mini Buddha? Did you ever get the mini Buddha?
Yeah.
That was a brilliant little RDA, and not many people reviewed it, and it didn't really seem to get out there. But it was fantastic. I had a copper one. I think I've still got it knocking around somewhere, probably going desperately green. But that was fantastic. I loved that. Now then. Right, let's get some Q&As going. If you've got a question for either myself or Mr. Richard V1ck, start them at Vaping Bike or at Vaping V1ck and put your question in uppercase if you can. That helps us be able to see it nice and easily. Obviously, if you wanted to do a super chat, I wouldn't hold that against you. But no, crack on. Get those jobbies going if you want. Get some questions in to us if you have any. Otherwise, we'll be getting ready to bugger off. I don't know how I feel about wearing this kind of. It was a bit nippy up here, so I'm wearing a bit of a fleecy shirt going on, and it's. I feel a little bit lumberjacky. I feel a bit hipster.
It looks good. It's almost the vaping uniform.
Here we go. Nathan, I don't think we're going to be able to answer this one, and I'm certainly not. Nathan is saying, chaps, can you explain the chemistry regarding the difference between nic salts and normal juice? No. It's just a different way of producing nicotine, and so, but the problem with nic salts is they don't actually absorb into your body, do they? So they're combined with a catalyst. And is it benzoic acid traditionally is the catalyst, and that catalyst, when added with the nic salt, does get into your bloodstream, does get into your body, and that's how that works. Why it doesn't have any throat hit or anything like that, I've no idea. There you go. You see, Richard already just said way more than I could ever have told you.
Yeah.
Right, what else we got going on here? Pardon me, Windy Pops. Neil M just got a XXX red plasma and he's really liking it. Excellent. I don't know what that is. Alex is asking you if you've given up wall chess.
Yes, I've moved the tiles. They're still around. I could still have a little game if I wanted, but yeah, I decided to get rid of them. It's killing people's OCD.
Wait for it. 88 is just saying at either of you. Okay. No question, just at either of you. Fair enough. Right, what else have we got? Vaping Vic is... Here we go. Vaping Vic, is there a bubble glass that fits your mod? I'm assuming he means tank. And that's from James Whiting.
Yeah. There isn't really. There isn't really. Riyadh found one that Smock did, which was this one. But it's an absolute nightmare. You need to put an extra O-ring on, you need to crank it down really tight, and it's a bit of a mess. I've got one that does fit, because this was the prototype bubble glass for the Saver, and that fits great. But they're not available, unfortunately. So no, I'm really sorry. You can't get one.
No, right. There we go then. Miguel Rice is asking, is there any product coming out that you are truly excited for?
Ooh, good question. If I tell you what, if I had lots of money and that was not an issue, I would have probably got a Goon 25.
Yeah.
You're not a huge Goon fan, are you?
No, it was that LP that I despised greatly.
Oh yeah, that was a bit of a disaster.
Yeah,
that was a real shame.
I think I had the 1.5 and quite enjoyed that. I didn't think it was spectacular, but what I like about the Goon 25 is they've gone back to the 3 air holes. I think that was it the 1.5 that had a Cyclop thingy. So yeah, I would like to try one actually.
So yes, that probably the Goon 25 is probably the latest release that's quite exciting.
Good stuff.
There's that.
Wait for it is asking if I'm going to be trying the FP RTA. No, and if you go onto my website at vapingbiker.co.uk, you can see that I put quite explicitly in the you want me to review your product section, that I don't review tanks. Now, the reason that I've had a couple of tanks that I've reviewed, and I've talked about tanks tonight, is that occasionally manufacturers will send tanks through, A, to just see what I think about it, or B, just because I'm on a mailing list or something like that. And if I like it, I talk about it in a Monday Night Live. Occasionally, I will do a review on it if it's something that I think is particularly special or different, but very, very rarely do I certainly don't accept tanks unless it's something ridiculously bonkers. So, no, I don't.
I have reviewed it. So there you go.
There you go. So you can go and check out Richard's review on it. There we go. Jimmy Jeffs just wants to know what you had for tea.
Oh, I had tuna salad. Tuna salad, there you go.
There we go. Very healthy as well. Scott Miller is asking, what is your stance on sweeteners in e-liquid? I think when I make certain flavours, I will add some what's that stuff called? What's the sweetener stuff? Fuck. What's it
Colada?
No.
No.
The sweetie stuff. Oh God, I've forgotten, and I haven't got it next to me. I do add some sweetener to it on occasions, and basically it does more than just sweeten it. It kind of also will smooth things out, especially if you've got sort of a cream or something like that in there to work off the back of. But I will use sweetener, but certain sweeteners can turn your coils manky AF super quickly. I've had one juice that I can remember in the past that was so bad, I couldn't get 1 day of vaping out of it before it just wrecked the coils, which was just unacceptable in this day and age.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that affect the gunking up of coils, like how direct the airflow is and all that sort of stuff, but I find the really, really good juices don't need it. Yeah.
I mean, I think it also depends if you're direct lunging it. If I'm doing something like I'm doing with this one, where I've got a fair whack of airflow going through it, I like something that's sweet and that's punchy and that's really strong in flavour, because that extra airflow will dilute the flavour a little bit. But if I'm going to be having a more restricted lung hit, then I don't need it to be quite so sweet, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I saw a good one.
DNNS84 is, what is your favourite new upcoming budget, let's say under 40 quid RDA, preferably restricted direct lung?
Oh, D-Pro Mini.
Yeah, I'd probably go with that one as well. Cheap and cheerful, restricted, everyone's with. Although, having said that, I mean, I'm still rocking the Hermetic from Matt, Suck My Mod. Yeah. I'm still rocking that at the moment. I wouldn't say that's super restricted, but you can close the airflow down. That is all I've got on my desk at the moment. Oh no, I have got. Shit, who's this from? This is Vapor's Cloud. Have you got this Shogun RDA?
No.
This from Vapor's Cloud. I am loving this. You've got 2 caps with it, and I've got the sort of the tighter cap with the 2 little air holes in it, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying that, and I think that is about 40 quid.
It's nice looking.
Yeah, it's cute as a button. That's a single coiler. The insides, the deck isn't anything that we haven't really seen before, to be honest. But the actual using of it, I've been having a blast with it. I think it's really good. So it's just another option.
Madeed Judge says, any vaping biker merch coming? And also, what is the hardest hitting 21700 mech?
Righty-ho.
Oh, 21700. What's the hardest hitting 21700 ones both of you recommend? Oh, you might just mean the batteries.
Okay. Samsung 30Ts, without a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion, when it comes to the batteries. And when it comes to merch, if you go to vapingbiker.co.uk and click onto the VB merchandise, or the merchandise store, whatever I've put it as, I've redone the website to make it super simple, load super quickly, and there's also there's kind of gear that I use, which when it comes to the vaping stuff, I'm going to put a bunch more of the ancillary gear. So things like the AtiDock that I really enjoy using. I've got the load of AtiDock stuff. Love these, and I think these are fantastic. Also, I use a Galisi S6 charger. I'm not reviewing it. I told you guys about this last week or the week before, but I really, really like it. I much prefer it to the horribly expensive Dragon from whoever that was. So I'm having a blast with that one. So I've shaped that one, and I've also got a studio thing. So if people are interested in cameras and microphones and all that sort of shit, I've put a bunch of kind of Amazon affiliate links there in case anyone wants to buy any of the non-vaping gear. I haven't got any vaping affiliate links, obviously, but the non-vaping gear, then there's a bunch of links there for that as well. But yeah, there is my merch store on there, so you can go and check that out.
If you did mean mech mod, I'm a big fan of the Dreamer.
Yes.
The Dreamer from Times Vape.
Yeah,
So
yeah. The Dreamer is a solid performer, absolutely. I'm pootling on through it now. I've not done a voltage drop test on this one as yet, but I'm really enjoying it from VCM, the Reborn. I'm thinking it's a wee beastie, and I'm having a great time.
Yeah.
Alex is asking you, will you be reviewing the squonking sub-tank?
I haven't got it. I haven't got it. It wouldn't have got a positive review from me anyway. But that is just nonsense. That is just such a load of nonsense. But no, I haven't got it.
Right.
So no. Dominic's popped up on the super chat.
Oh, was he? Oh,
have you seen that?
No.
Are either of you getting the C-roll RDA?
No, I'm not.
I keep hearing about it, and I don't even know who's made it.
Mr. Todd did a review of it. Neither of us have watched them because we're evil friends.
Oh dear, that's bad.
But thank you so much for the super chat there, Dominic. I've got that window open now so I can see.
Oh,
things.
it's Ambitions mods. Ambition mods. Oh, cool. It looks quite nice.
Yes, that's the one.
So there you go, Dom. Check out Mark Todd's review.
Yeah, I'm sure Dom's done that already. But
yeah.
But no, I don't know anything about it. I think it's an affordable single coiler, but I could be wrong.
And see you at Expo, Dom.
Absolutely.
He will be there.
Right, let's try and power through a few of these questions. So, Neil M, have you seen or getting the Purge stacked piece? I've seen it. I'm not getting it as far as I know. Purge also got their side by side. I can't remember what it's called, but
side piece.
Side piece. Well, there you go. Which is essentially a stacked mod. It looks a beast. It looks huge.
It looks quite sexy though.
Yeah. I think it's a solid billet of brass that it's machined out of as well. So it's going to be heavy. It's going to be awesome. But no, I'm hoping to see one of those when we go to Expo, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
I need a new regulated mod, dual battery ideally, for more battery life. What to look for at Expo? I would say a Basium. It's obviously I'm completely unbiased.
Does he mean Squonker?
I don't know, but I'm pretending he does.
I'll pretend he doesn't. So you've got two. If you're on a bit of a budget, the Proton by Imac, brilliant dual battery mod. If you've got a bit more cash, maybe the Therion. Was it the Therion? The Therion 166.
Is that really a good battery life though?
Dual battery.
Well, yeah, it's a bit like with the. For me, obviously, I mean, I'm very proud of the battery life on the Basium, but as Modus, with their going old school with the Minikin V2, I still think is spectacular. If you get a couple of HG2s in there or 30Qs or something, your battery life for days on a tiny little mod.
Yeah, true.
I think that's spectacular. Mowgli Vapes is asking, are either of us going to be part of the 24-hour simulcast advocacy podcast? I was speaking to Michelle from Dull Dime about that recently, although I thought that was a YouTube thing, so I can't remember. I don't know.
Oh, no. I don't know anything about that.
Right, let me scroll through a little bit. I've got lots of catching up. Amwin says ethyl maltol. No, that's not what I was trying to remember. Hang on. I've got to get my... Oh, shit.
Wolfie says any decent regulated 21700 tube mods. The only 21700 regulated that springs to mind is the EH Pro 101 Pro, which is all right. There's the Nunchucker, but that's 18650, and then there's that new Joytech one again, which is 18650.
Yeah. I was actually asking you about that recently because I fancied getting one of those.
Yeah, if you need it to be the bigger batteries, it needs to be the EH Pro 101 Pro.
Yes. Yeah. Capella Super Sweet. That's what I was trying to think of earlier on, by the way. Yeah. Right, what else have we got? I'm just powering through, looking for the uppercase stuff going on here. Vaping Biker, are you doing anything for Christmas? I'd like to go abroad, but probably not.
You'll be doing something.
I hate Christmas. Miserable.
Yeah, but you'll be doing something, even if it's nothing.
Sitting in here wishing that I was in a warmer country, I imagine.
Yeah. Murray, thank you for buying a Saver RTA. He said he bought one the other day. I just happened to be here. Very cool. Enjoy.
Ruben didn't put it in uppercase, but I saw it. Am I getting the Kennedy Vapor Vindicator mech mod in for review? No, I've never had anything from Kennedy to review. But I did notice that Mr. Grim Green had his review of that up yesterday or today, so that could be worth going and checking out.
Flawless, he said. It was flawless, and it does look nice.
Yeah. Is that the one that Todd had?
No.
Because he had a very cloudy. I thought that was a Kennedy thing that he had.
He might have one now, because the chap from Kennedy was at Vape Expo. So.
Yeah. Michelle, the 24-hour thing is for Michelle Lynn's Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Absolutely. So definitely worth a look. I can't remember what channel it's on though. So if anyone knows, feel free to let us know in chat. What has been, here we go, Dominic's asking a question. What has been your favourite mod of 2018 so far, and what has been the least favourite so far?
Oof.
Be careful how you answer this one, Mr. Vic.
The Basium's right up there. The Basium is right up there. As I said before, the Inicum Proton is right up there as well. Worst, though. I'm racking my brains for worst. I don't know. What can you think of for worst?
That is a good question. I've turned down so much stuff this year that I've been very lucky that there's been a lot of stuff that I've been able to weed out before it got to me, you know.
This was a bit of a dog. I'm trying to avoid reviewing this. This is the Luxottic MF.
That was the thing with the changeable board, huh?
Changeable board, yes. Squonker, but you can change into a lazy box. Yeah, it's a bit of it's so, I don't know, it just seems so carelessly thought out. Like the squonk window is really like sharp, and they've not attempted, just cut a hole. They've not attempted to do anything with that hole. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird looking. It's heavy. The board thing is just madness. I mean, who wants to start unscrewing about 8 screws to change the board? And I don't know. And then the RDA is a remake of an RDA that wasn't great, and they've just put this sort of like fake Damascus
right
on it. Yeah, so that was a bit of a dog. That's right up there.
Yeah. With
the weaker ones. No, nothing. I mean, the standard has gone up, hasn't it?
Oh, without a doubt. There's a lot of good stuff out there now, which is fantastic. Right, what else we got going on here? Quickly.
The Vupu 2 with the slidey doors.
Oh, yeah, was that this year? That was horrible.
If that was this year, it must be, yeah.
Horrid thing that was. Yes, it was the Vindicator that Todd's reviewed. So go and check. See, we really should pay. Hopefully he doesn't watch this because he'll realise that we don't watch him.
Oh, he won't see this.
Mowgli Vapes is just saying, Vic, chat up Dean about it. I don't know what he's talking about, but there we go. You've just got to chat me up. Vaping with Ken, I think I saw someone saying about the channel for the 24-hour thing for the suicide prevention, which is a thing. So go and check that out. I will, if I can't get on it. Oh, he's in chat. Look.
I know.
Oh, good. Oh, shit.
Sorry, Mark. We've seen all the other 1,000, just not those 2.
I've watched some. Yeah, some of them I've watched multiple times.
Yeah, I've watched a couple twice.
Mainly to try and understand it. But yeah, if I can't get onto that live stream, then I will certainly send out links to it and all of that sort of good jazz. Yeah. But
I'm happy to get involved, but I honestly don't know anything about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I hate it when that happens, when people just cover up dead air by singing. It's ridiculous. At Vaping with Ken on YouTube. There we go. Yeah, at Vape. And I was going to I wanted to do a 24-hour podcast for charity for doggies, and I never got round to it. And that's one of the things that I'm gutted about, because I think it'd probably kill me if I did it now. But you know, I think it's a good thing. I like the idea of a 24-hour cast. Scott Bogfoot, are there any new mods that require a nipple top battery? Christ, I haven't used one of them for a long time.
No, back in the day, certain mechs worked better with nipple tops, didn't they?
Yeah, and for stacking them, you'd have to have a nipple top.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I've not used a nipple top since the old red AW ones back in the day.
Yeah, same. They just went out, didn't they? They just went out.
Yeah, absolutely.
James Whitting says, have either of you got a topside mod?
No.
I haven't either.
No.
I haven't either.
No.
I would have happily had a go on one of them, just to see.
They'll be at Expo, though, because I know Dovpo are going to be at Expo. I think Brian is coming over as well, so I'm sure there'll be a bunch of them there if you want to go and check them out. And you know, Expo is coming up soon. It's only in a couple of weeks now, isn't it?
I know.
So it's ramping straight up, nice and sharpish. So there's going to be me, you, Todd is going to be there. There's going to be a few of the American reviewers over, as well as a bunch of people. So looking forward to seeing you there. If you do come along, make sure you do come up and say hello and tell us what your name is. Don't just say, "All right, yeah, my name's Dave." You remember that conversation we had 3 months ago? Because odds are I won't, and I'll feel terribly rude. But I've got a terrible memory, so just have to give me a little bit of a reminder on that one. But come up and say hello. The only times not to do that is if I'm eating or peeing. that's yeah, and I've had both of those. And it sounds rude, but when you've got a mouthful of food and someone's going, "All right," and you go just spraying food everywhere, that's a bit rude. And when someone talks to you whilst you've got your willy in your hand, it just feels a bit weird. Just you know.
I said I wouldn't do that again.
It just weirds me out a little bit, so yeah, that's the only time. But no, otherwise, come up and say hello and grab a selfie and all that sort of good stuff. Are you looking forward to it?
Oh, I can't wait. It seems like ages since Vape Fest, and yeah, I really like the expo. I really like Vape Expo. They do a really good job. Everything seems to just run smooth, and everyone's there that should be there, and
absolutely. And
yeah, I like it.
This one's bigger than ever before, I think. So
yeah, if that's true, I mean, I've heard that before.
yeah. I mean, they sent an email with the floor plan on it, and there looks like there's a lot of vendors there.
Yeah, if that's true, then that's really cool, because it's huge.
Absolutely. And one of the cool things about the one in May was there were definite areas that weren't loud and banging and stupid, you know, pain in the arse areas. So I think they've really kind of tightened up on that aspect of it as well, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah, really looking forward to it.
Yeah. Todd's crying now, look, not going now. Even my mates don't watch my reviews. Now I'm a failed reviewer. Merde. See, he's been in France for 3 minutes, and he's speaking French. Look, what the fuck? I tell you,
sacre bleu.
What else have we got? What have we got going on? Dominic says Richard will no doubt be selling the leftover savers in the toilet at Expo once again.
Yeah, I've got about 10 that don't have the mouth to lung pin. I I might hand a few of those out.
Nice.
No box, no mouth to lung pin. There you go.
Right. Well, I think we've come to a nice finish now. We've been going for about an hour and 3/4, which is, as always, way more than I wanted to do originally. But it's been nice. It's gone really quickly tonight, so thanks for that.
Yes, been good, hasn't it? Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you very much for coming on, and it's short notice because of my very poor planning, because I'm shit. So thank you very much. You've done a marvellous job, sir.
What's the next video that you're putting up then?
Mine will be my mesh video.
Yes, cool.
So that's going to be the thing that I've got some filming to do. I'm going to see a new car tomorrow because my little Suzuki Wagon-R is on its last legs and trying to kill me by the day. So I'm going to see a new car tomorrow, and then once that's sorted out, then I'll get into the filming. I've done a lot of storyboarding so far, so we'll get into the filming of that. So that'll be out in the next few days. As always, anything that comes through will get unboxed for my sort of $10 and above tier on Patreon. So if you do want to go and support the channel, you can either become a member now if you hit the membership link down below. Don't know how it works, but it's a thing. Or there's Patreon, or there's PayPal for a one-off payment if you want to support what I do. But I hope people are enjoying the way the videos are going, because I'm trying to be more cinematic with what's happening, and that's sort of it's more challenging for me as a YouTuber, and I'm enjoying it. But it means that obviously there's less content that comes out, but hopefully people are digging it. Is there anything that you wanted to say to people? No. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure. Chat's always great, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Lovely bunch of people. And Jerry's saying car ? Bike ? Yes, absolutely. And if you've got the spare £5,000 that you can give me so I can trike my bike, then that would be splendid. But yes, on that one, I think we should go. Are you going to do the cloud out for us this evening? Oh, I could try. Do it. What's the timing? What's the trick to the timing? The trick to the timing the cue? Is you've got to preempt it. So, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you all go out there and have it large. Generally, that's the general thing. So You've just got to get your timing in there for that one. Right. Okay. All right. Cool. I'm ready. Okay then. So, thank you very much for watching. We'll see you next week, and make sure you go out there. Make sure you're safe. Make sure you do things properly, and that you're a good. That one was my fault. I was trying to highlight that people should stay safe. So that was. Yeah, well, I can't knock that. No, absolutely. But I'm not going to fuck about it this time. I'll do it with you. Right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. We'll see you very, very soon. Cheers. Have it large. I can't see the end button. There it is.